Please turn on your video and get ready to welcome your host. Please turn on your video and get ready to welcome your host. In 2015, he sold his first software company, then wrote a book about it. You purchased over 30,000 copies, making it an instant Wall Street Journal bestseller. Then he collected data points from 3,000 B2B SaaS CEOs through his podcast. He went on to raise a $145 million fund to do debt deals with software founders that wanted to keep equity. He's financed 403 software founders totaling $150 million. In 2024, he's averaging 3 to 4 new deals per week. He's a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, an exited SaaS founder, and the CEO and Chief Investment Officer of FounderPath. Please put your webinar hands together and welcome to the studio, Nathan Latka.
What is going on? Happy August, everybody. Larry Fisher, good to see you. My man Steven with Imer Surface here. Hey, Wendy, how are you? Good to see you. I love it. Meredith, good to see you as always. Rhetoric with a big deal happening. Congratulations. She's excited. Guys, Nathan Latka here, if we haven't met, CEO and founder here at FounderPath, and we've got quite the session for you guys today. As you guys know, the world of AI is moving quickly, but we are all founders and marketers, and all we care about is how do we add customers, how do we grow revenue, and how do we save time? You know, AI is just hopefully a means to do that. That's gonna be the focus for today. I'm gonna go to my back shot real quick. You guys are all joining me here in my living room, and this is cool because I can see your faces over here, I can see your faces over here, and I can see your chat right in the middle. So let's just test the chat really quick. Let me know where everyone is joining from. Just let me know where you're joining from there in the chat. Jason Bart, Dr. Angela, good to see you again. Hello, Lydia Sugarman, a regular Lydia, good to see you. Where's everyone joining from? We've got Tucson, Cali, Thousand Oaks, Cambridge, that's great. Let me cut back to the front screen again, and Wisconsin's in the house, Bill from Sweden, we've got Croatia and Anita, Istanbul, really a global audience. And guys, we want this to very much feel like a backyard barbecue. This is going to be a little different than my usual workshops because we're actually gonna do stuff together, meaning I'm gonna ask you guys to take over the screen and share your screen here live with everyone else that has joined. I'm expecting about 100 founders joining us live today. So we're on Zoom. I can't actually see the count. You guys can see the count. Maybe you can put it in the chat and help me out, but expecting about 100 to 110, just folks that are operating and building great companies. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. Let me cut over now and share my, oh no, I don't need to share my screen, right? Studio, people can already see my screen? Or do I need to click share still? I forget, Patrick. I'm good. Yeah, so guys, please turn your video on. I just did the back shot, so like you know that I can actually see you. That's why I ask everyone to turn their video on. It makes it feel like I'm not talking to an empty room, which is way more fun. So Rebecca Tabak, good to see you. Ryan with ModX is in the house. Dr. Jackie Taylor is here. Hey, Jay Rathman, good to see you. New face, looking forward to getting to know you. Jason King is here as well. I've asked my studio in about 25 seconds to start removing folks that do not have their screen, their face shared, their webcam on, so we can make room for some other folks here on Zoom. Hey, Timu from Austin, good to see you. Terry says, show the back shot again in the chat. Terry, here it is. Here's the back shot. You guys are live in my living room today. It's good to see everybody. I've got my studio team behind me. I've got the full sort of chat streams up, so looking forward to chatting with all you guys. Let me go back to the front shot here, and let's jump into the slides. Here's what we're gonna cover today. Here's the game plan. 9 prompts to add $1 million of revenue quickly and build a media empire. The reason I put and build a media empire is because I believe in today's age, when anyone can build software, the differentiator is actually, have you built your own and operated distribution channels? Where are you guys landing on this debate? Distribution or product? What is a bigger advantage today? Put it in the chat. What is a bigger advantage today? And maybe Lucas Perry, we haven't met. Are you comfortable unmuting yourself? What are you thinking in terms of distribution versus product? What's more valuable today, Lucas Perry? You got to unmute your, he just goes like this with his finger.
I've got a lot of banging here because I'm getting a new roof on my house, but I think distribution.
Okay, distribution. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Wendy just said products, but that's only because of her experience. Patrick just said distribution. Jitan in the chat said distribution. I like what Alex said at B2B Way. First time founders product, second time founders distribution. So look, the debate rages on. Who knows what the right answer is? But this is what we're gonna do today. Guys, you ever read those books where it's pick your own adventure? You know, where you look at the bottom and you pick where you wanna go? I'm gonna give you guys full control of how we spend the next 45 minutes. Is that cool? These are the 6 prompts that you can choose from, right, that we've built, that I've used to generate results. So I'm going to spend the first 5 minutes here giving you a preview of these 6 prompts. And then in about 6 minutes, Steve Saper, Rahul Kaushik, I'm going to ask you to put in the chat which ones you want to go deep on. Is that cool? Thumbs up. Are we cool with that? Thumbs up, that work? That means we're going to have a very valuable show today because you're only going to get what you want. All right, so let's go through 1 through 6 very quickly here. The first one, as we all say, to win, you've got to get attention and don't pay for it, right? You want to owned and operated distribution systems. So the first prompt that we could go deep on today, again, if you want me to, is the email list builder. Here's the results I drove using the prompt, right? Using the tactic. Can you guys see the list size? Can you see the number of clicks I generate per email? Imagine what it would be like for you if you had a list where every time you emailed them, you could get 1,420 clicks to any new product launch, any new webinar you're promoting, any conference you're trying to sell, any lead magnet you're trying to get exposure for. Right? That's what the email list builder prompt will teach you how to get clicks on command. That's prompt number 1. I'm going to the next slide. This is prompt number 2, right? Type podcast in the chat, guys. If you've already experimented, you've recorded and published at least one podcast episode, type podcast in the chat. Anybody? Patrick's on the podcast boat. Larry is, Muhammad, Wendy, Anthony, Will, Lassie. Lassie, good to see you, man. We'll have to get to Lassie here in a bit. He's crushing it on Founder Path. Joe, okay, a lot of podcast folks. So here, again, no BS on Nathan Latka webinars. There's the screenshot, right, from Libsyn, which is my podcast host provider. You can see the number of downloads we generated right there, right? And that was only in the first very short period of time we launched the show, 12 million, over 12 million downloads. I've built my strategy all into a prompt card, which in about 3 minutes, if you tell me you want to go deep on that, we'll go deep on that. Let's go to the third prompt that we could go deep on today. Again, your choice. It's actually kind of meta. It's all about webinars and hosting live virtual events. How many of you guys are testing virtual events? Type it in the chat. How many of you are testing virtual events? Could be webinars, StreamYard, YouTube lives, Instagram lives, any kind of virtual events. Okay, a lot of you guys testing webinars, typing virtual. Okay, great. So this graph is the most important thing when you're doing virtual events, right? It's all about how many RSVPs can you get? What is your show up rate? So if you get 1,000 RSVPs, can you get more than 400 show ups? So a 40% plus show up rate. You're crushing it if you're getting a 45% show up rate, guys, by the way. Those of you that know what you're talking about, you know most people get 30% show up rate or even lower. So if you can beat 40%, you're crushing it. But what's most important is this, it's average view duration of the live event. That's what this pink line is. So you can see when I do live events, I'm retaining folks for 60 minutes. And these are busy founders, executives, etc. I'll stop, I keep switching that. I'll stop doing that. Is it messing you up?
It's for the restream.
Oh, got it. Yeah, sorry about that. So guys, this is the perfect webinar prompt, right? That's the third prompt we could go deep on, all right? Iron Held in the chat said webinar. Larry Fisher said, because you're damn good. Larry, I appreciate that. I do think I'm damn good, but it's also teachable. Like I've documented a lot of this stuff and it's copy and paste stuff if you do it the right way. All right, Wendy Harris says, I love the webinars. I learned so much, appreciate that. All right, let's go to the next prompt. This one. How many of you guys are publishing videos on YouTube? Type YouTube in the chat. How many of you are putting videos on YouTube? There is a playbook to get 10, 20,000 views every time over and over and over again. It's just most people don't know the playbook. You don't have the script. You don't have the prompt. I had to go and publish over 3,000 of my interviews on YouTube to finally get to the point where we're consistently getting 10, 20K views per episode, right? Per YouTube video when we publish them. That's now on a prompt card that I call YouTube virality, okay? YouTube virality. So this is another prompt that you could tell me in about 3 minutes that you want to spend time on today. All right, here is, I believe this is the fifth one, right? Breaking LinkedIn. How many of you guys are going all in on founder brand on LinkedIn? Just type LinkedIn in the chat. I mean, you're publishing at least, once a day, maybe 3 times a week. You're focusing on getting comments, likes, engagement. You're growing your followers. Okay, Josh said yes. Bill said yes. Jitan said yes. I see the chat going crazy here. So a lot of LinkedIn. You can see here, guys, my LinkedIn post. You can see my mouse right here, right? Can you see the number of comments here? It's kind of shocking because most people think you need to spend money on media, an image or a video to get this kind of comments. It's wrong. That's wrong. It's way more about psychology. So we'll jump into that. And actually, I might unmute Lassie if you're prepared. You are the LinkedIn guy. You have the most popular LinkedIn prompt on Founder Path. If you're cool with it, Lassie, I might unmute you in a couple minutes. Are you cool with that?
Sure, I am.
You can. Okay, cool. So Lassie's with us. So again, going viral on LinkedIn, really important. And then lastly here, this one's a little more, this is for the advanced founders on today, right? Only reason I wrote a book was a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to get featured on cable, which we did. I wanted my book in every airport because it's basically a free billboard because I put my face on the cover, right? So it's free branding. And I also wanted to hit the Washington Journal bestseller list. That's the only reason I did the book. You can see here the results, right? This is a shot from the newspaper the week we launched, and you can see my name here in the 3rd spot. And what even blew us away is this script works so well, this prompt works so well, the playbook worked so well, it beat out Brene Brown, it beat out Dave Ramsey, it beat out James Clear in Atomic Habits, it beat out Jim Collins. I mean, this is not easy to do, folks. I was a 29-year-old business author, I think youngest ever to hit the Washington Journal bestseller list. I've taken that strategy and put it in a prompt as well. So here's the summary, guys. I just sort of teased you with 1 through 6. This really is how do I say it? Meritocracy, a merotic. How do you say that? You get to tell me what to do on the webinar, right? It's pure voting. So tell me in the chat, type the title of the prompt you want to focus on first. We're going to spend 10 minutes on that. Then we'll do the next one, the next one. We'll do as many as we can before time runs out. So tell me in the chat, 1 through, don't type the number, type the actual name. Okay, so I'm seeing YouTube, LinkedIn, podcast, email list, email. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of, okay, so here's what we do. I'm gonna ask my studio to start the 10-minute timer, and the first one we're gonna focus on is email list building, okay? And then we'll go into the other ones that you guys just talked about. So we're gonna do email list building first. We'll start that 10-minute countdown, and then again, at the end of 10 minutes, you guys will tell me the next prompt that you want us to dive into. All right, so email list builder. I want you guys to do this along with me, okay? I want you guys to do this along with me. So Mike here in studio, if you could just put a link to, actually I'll drop it in the chat because I didn't prep Mike for this link. So let me open it up really quick. I am on my screen going to go in and show you guys, teach you guys the prompt first and then show you how you can use it. Okay, so email list builder. And I'm gonna copy the link to this prompt, okay? So you can get the full prompt, copy and paste. I'm gonna share a link to this prompt directly in the chat. Okay, so it's right there, guys. And again, guys, I want you to do this with me. We're gonna do this all together. It's free. I'm not sneakily gonna put you into some conversion funnel paywall here. You will see no paywalls on this webinar, okay? So nothing sneaky. That link right there that I just gave is what I want you guys to follow me on, okay? Once you sign up, once you get into your FounderPath account, just type done in the chat so that I know you're with me, and then I'll go to the next step, okay? Let me know once you get that signed up and then type done in the chat so I know I can go to the next step. Now, while you guys that are not signed up are still working on it, and again, Mike in studio there, he's already on it, that's great. Just keep copying and pasting it for me. Those of you that are already in, what we've done in this prompt, I'm gonna show you a little bit what's happening sort of on the back end, which is how we captured intelligence in this prompt to make sure you get and can use the prompt to grow your own email list. And this is my back end. All right, so only I see this at FounderPath. Those of you that don't know me, background is FounderPath is a fund, right? So we invest, I'm operating out of a $150 million third fund. We've deployed $200 million to over 500 software companies. What we've done historically is these playbooks were only reserved for our portfolio companies because I have a vested interest in seeing them grow. And then people like Peter Cross and Scott Kaplan and Lydia Sugarman and all you, YouTube regulars or Zoom regulars said, Nathan, share these prompts with the world for free. Let everybody use it, even if they don't take investment at FounderPath. So that's what we've done. And this screen you're looking at is how I manage that. So if we go into the email list builder, I want you guys to see how we've built this, right? So there's the title of the prompt, there's the description, there's the teams. So like your growth team, your marketing team, right? You should post the link that we put in Zoom to your Slack for your growth and marketing team, right? And then down here, you can see I've attached a PDF. Do you guys see my mouse right here? There's a massive PDF here. This is the intelligence we've built into this prompt, right? That has built into the prompt, okay? Those of you that are saying you can't sign up to FounderPath because of your email, either, yeah, Gary says use a VPN, or just you gotta use a business address, right? Use a business address, okay? All right, so I see Pulse Commerce just signed up, Poster POS is in, B33 Tech, XBS Atlanta, LSG.com, you guys all have accounts, it's great. So let's get into the actual prompt, okay? I'm gonna run this on my account, and then I want you guys to run it on yours. I'm gonna pick one of you guys, if you don't mind, to give, feature you here live and use one of you guys as a live example. So I'm gonna click this button, use this prompt with my real data, okay? Now, on this step, you guys have a choice. The script will work with your own customer list to give you a faster way to get email subscribers. So you could connect your Stripe customer list, right? Or on tech integrations, you could connect your Google Analytics. And the reason that's important is the prompt will then read, right, that data and give you a more customized plan to grow your email list and add 10,000 subscribers quickly. If you're not comfortable connecting those data sources, just don't connect them, just click send anyway. We'll still do a good job getting you planned. So you guys can see my screen now, right? Can you see it thinking? Maybe just type thinking in the chat so I can just make sure you guys see this, right? So the thinking is happening, right? It's looking at content pillager things, it's synthesizing strategies, okay? Larry is thinking, Will's thinking. I'm going to check our back end too, because I'm going to pick one of you guys to feature here live. So I see Daniel of Fastmail, Doug at Headway Exec, you're running it right now. Doug, maybe unmute yourself. What are you seeing on your screen as you're running this for Headway Exec?
Yeah, I'm getting the little spinner that says it's processing.
Yep. And then here's what you guys should see. Once it's done processing, you can see here, you can click this middle drag button. I'm gonna drag it so my co-pilot over here on the left is smaller, and the output over here on the right is your full plan. So the 180-day plan to add 10,000 email subscribers quickly. The full plan's over here, right? And as we dive into this, Doug, maybe let me pick on you since I know your audio is working. Did you get your output already?
Not yet.
Okay, it's still thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone gotten their output already? Again, depending on complexity of your account, right?
Oh, my output just came back.
Okay. Doug, are you comfortable sharing screen so we can use yours as an example?
Yeah, happy to. Let me kill a couple other screens I got going on here.
All right, we'll come back to you in a minute as you kill some of those screens. But guys, what you're going to see here is this card, again, is using all the intelligence of how I built my own email list and how others add email subscribers quickly. And you're getting the full list. Now, some of you guys said it's blurry. So I'm going to try and zoom in here a little bit. Is this better? Is this bigger? Can you actually maybe read this now? Okay, Barris said yeah, right? So the first thing it's doing is it's saying, hey, here's your voice, Nathan, right, of your website. This is just us scraping your website, guys. So if you sign up with getlatka.com, your website, this is where it's getting this intelligence from, right? Then what it's doing is saying, hey, here are some example lead magnets that you could use, that others use that worked really well. It's in saying weeks 5 to 8, focus on these things. 61 to 120, focus on these things. And so like one of the things it's saying is, hey, influencer tactic, tap into your industry to network with. Well, or focus on placements and SEO. Well, one of the things you might be wondering is, well, Nathan, I don't want to do the work to go find all those influencers, right? Can you maybe do that for me? Well, so one of the things you could do here, guys, is click the follow-up question right here. You see where it says list the top 3 newsletters in my industry so I can pitch them on co-marketing? Right, Doug, do you see that one?
I do.
So click that, guys. And those of you chatting live, like doing the workshop live with me, go ahead and click one of those follow-up questions and hit send so it can continue doing work for you. Doug, let's use, I much prefer to use a real example versus me. Are you able to share your screen?
It's telling me I don't have permission yet.
Oh, my bad. I forgot I have to do that. Okay, I have to allow you. Go ahead and try again. And then like Patrick Lewis, Mike in studio, we have to figure out this blurry issue. Like there's a couple people in the chat saying this is blurry. So just for next webinar, let's try and figure that out. It's looking good. It is? Okay.
How's that?
Let's see. Guys, just type Doug in the chat. Can you see Doug's screen? Doug, you look good to me, man. All right, so let's go through this. So first off, tell us what remember the AI guys, our AI is doing this automatically in the back end, but Doug, for everyone listening today, what does big5performance.com do? What do you do?
We're a SaaS technology platform that deals with employee engagement and employee retention.
Okay, so you get your plan over here on the left, right? Let's scroll down a little bit, or sorry, on the right, I apologize, on the right. And if we want to make this area bigger, Doug, you can hover over that middle bar and make the co-pilot, drag it to the left to make, there you go, perfect, you're an expert. All right, so it's saying here, like under weeks 3 through 4, lead magnet creation. Create 2 to 3 compelling lead magnets. So you can see there for insurers, Doug, it gives you an idea. For lenders and agents and for webinars, it gives you 3 ideas there. Do any of those ideas, do you see what I'm talking about there under weeks 3 to 4?
Yeah, I'm concerned I maybe didn't launch this with real data. I think I might have been still using dummy data.
Okay, well, this is great. Talk to the co-pilot like you would a human. So type down there in the chat, hey, please use my real data from, and then copy and paste in your website URL. Guys, same with all of you, Javier, everyone else. And guys, we have only a minute left on this prompt, then we're gonna go to another prompt of your guys' choice. But guys, if you don't like your export, just talk to it, just like Doug is talking to it. You can tell it it's stupid. It won't hurt my feelings. It's just a robot, right, that we trained. You can tell it's stupid, please redo it, please redo this section, whatever. All right. Okay, Will said, I got all the way to getting 2 newsletters and the prompt window completely reset. So Will, go ahead and just give that and refresh and you can check the output. Now, Doug, we won't spend more time on this, but guys, what I recommend you do on this is now click that copy button in the upper right of the output. You see that copy button in the upper right? Now you can just email this to your head of growth, right? And just say, hey, this is a plan. This is the playbook Nathan used to add 45,000 subscribers to his email list. Please look at this plan and see if there are valuable nuggets we can use to grow our list, right? So we'll do the work for you. We give you the plan. You can copy and paste it, send it out to your folks. Doug, I'm going to take the screen back. I'm going to open it up just very quick for questions. Guys, before we jump into other prompts of your choice, does that make any questions on how it works in terms of the prompt, your business data, the memory, and the output? Maybe Lydia Sugarman, can I pick on you? Can I unmute you? Does that all make sense to you?
Yeah, you're using.
Oh, that just means, look, you get a beautiful entry, like a Disney princess. Oh, that was beautiful. Lydia to the stage, everybody. Lydia to the stage. Let's go. All right, what were you going to ask?
Can I just pop this prompt into Gemini or ChatGPT and use it, or it has to go into app.founderpath.com?
Guys, so this is a really good question, right? Before we spent millions of dollars building out the UI that I just showed you, we were going, well, wait, why can't people, wouldn't people just want to go in here and look at the prompt? Like, let's go back, Lydia, to your question here, just go into the email prompt like this, click on this. Why not just copy and paste this into ChatGPT? Well, guys, ChatGPT, many of you guys don't have your customer list attached to ChatGPT, or you don't have your profit and loss connected to ChatGPT, or you don't have your Google Analytics connected to ChatGPT. Right? So remember, all these prompts are how we help our portfolio companies grow at FounderPath. And when portfolio companies take money from us, they connect all their data sources. So the plans that we give them are super customized. So Lydia, you could use this in ChatGPT. It's just the response is going to be pretty poor.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Raise your hand, guys. How many of you were wondering the same thing that Lydia just asked? I think this is the number one thing I've got to figure out how to explain. Yeah, Chris raised his hand, Julian raised his hands, Charles, Eric.
Oh,
look, I don't know if one day like people are going to be comfortable sharing like their P&L and customer list with Sam Altman at OpenAI. Remember, they're sucking in all the data. Who knows what they're using it for? You know, we use this for portfolio companies. It's bank level security. It's encrypted. And we've got thousands of folks already with connected accounts. So Lydia, you could just use FounderPath to copy these prompts, take them over to ChatGPT. We're going to keep them inside of FounderPath for privacy reasons. All right, appreciate you. Okay, so no, someone just asked, are we using OpenAI in the background? No, we're not. We're not using OpenAI specifically for privacy issues. Most of the requests that you guys see going through are actually going to Gemini. Is anyone from my tech team? Is anyone from FounderPath's team on that could maybe explain in a? Let's see. Just type yes in the chat because there's so many people live. I can't find you quickly. Is there anyone from FounderPath's tech team on? Lydia, we'll go to those in a second. But guys, while we're doing that, let's pick the next 10-minute section. Here are the prompts again. What do we want to spend time on? Next 10 minutes. You want 20 million podcast downloads? You want 500 people on your next webinar? You want 20,000 views on your YouTube channel? You want 1,000 comments on your LinkedIn? You want to write a best-selling book? What do you want to do? Bill Cornelio, can I pick on you with Positrace? Can you unmute yourself? What do you want to do next, man?
What are my options?
Here are your options on the screen. What are you focused on to grow your business? Are you trying to get a podcast going? Are you trying to do more live events like webinars? Are you focusing on LinkedIn or writing books?
LinkedIn's great. I'm using Expandy right now, but I don't seem to get. It's a good list, but I'm not getting enough connections.
Okay. I think a lot of you guys are saying LinkedIn in the chat. So let's go with LinkedIn for the next 10 minutes. So in studio, let's do another 10 minutes on the clock. And then guys, again, we'll do this for 10 minutes. Then we'll go to another prompt until we run out of time. So I can give you guys the best information over the next 10 minutes. Tell me your biggest issue with your LinkedIn strategy today. So Bill just said, put it in the comments. Bill just said he's not getting engagement. What you might say, Nathan, I don't know how to write a good hook. You might say, I'm not getting new connection requests. You might say something else. Just type your real issue in the chat. And let me just pick on somebody. Andrew Schultz with the checker background. Can I pick on you? Are you using LinkedIn? Unmute yourself. Tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, hey Nathan, absolutely.
How are ya?
Using LinkedIn, not always getting the best results.
And so what do you care about though? Do you care about views on your post? Do you care about like number of DMs you're getting? What do you care about?
Yeah, really engagement on the post from my ICP,
Okay.
and then engagement in DMs that follows on from that.
Okay, love that. Guys, so let's go deep on that. Lassie, Lassie, you want to unmute yourself?
Sure.
Where's Lassie? All right, Lassie, maybe in studio we can pin Lassie. Guys, so one of the things we're doing at FounderPath is when we find an expert in a space, we encourage them to create a prompt because then it gives an unfair advantage to all of our portfolio companies. So when I go into my LinkedIn right now, you can see, not every post like crushes it, right? But you can see like even recently, this was just a week or two ago, like this got 7,000 comments, this got 4,400 comments, this one got, 1,900 comments, right? So Lassie, you do this for a living, you do LinkedIn consulting. Tell us, I'm gonna open up your prompt right now on the screen, which 1,100 companies have already used. You can see right here on my screen, right? If I open this up, I'm gonna share this prompt with you guys in the chat on Zoom. So click that link and go ahead and click the button that says use this prompt with your real data so that we can give you a plan while Lassie is explaining this prompt he put together. So Lassie, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this prompt essentially, like with all of these prompts, then you just need to stack it with some intelligence in terms of how you actually make these posts. So inside of this prompt, I've compiled just an intelligence part in the bottom, which goes into how you structure LinkedIn posts for virality. First of all, I saw some of you guys in the comments talking about how engagement is a vanity metric. How views is a vanity metric, and that you want engagement. You definitely want that when you're a nobody, like in kind words on LinkedIn, when you don't have an audience. The only way to build an audience is through actually giving away something resourceful. So you want to put together some resources, and this prompt will help you figure out what resources that you should put together, giving the info that it has about your business. And it will outline a type of, like, I call it a steal post. Like it writes a post about how someone can steal your resource, or just a how-to prompt on how to achieve a specific outcome. And that's the way you go about it. Then you have a comment CTA, like Nathan showed in his posts as well. And when you run that, then you will simply just have people who engage with your LinkedIn post now.
So Lassie, really quick, because I see David Kim, you're running it, Eric Easton, you're running it, Steven at orderright.com is running it, Peru, Oliver, like I see Arun at Big B, you're all running this right now. Lydia, this answers your question about why not do this in ChatGPT. Watch this next screen here really quick. If you click use this prompt with your real data, it's going to encourage you to connect your Stripe, or we have a bunch of other integrations where you can connect your customer list. If you connect your customer list, the output that we give you is going to be highly customized to target your ICP, right? Because we can see who already is paying you the most. You see what I'm saying? This is your company memory. This memory is what ChatGPT doesn't have. It's what FounderPath has, and it's why FounderPath companies are growing faster than everybody else. So if I click send here, Lassie, the thinking is going to start happening, sort of running your playbook. You've had over 1,000 folks sort of use this so far. Let me go into DB. Someone named DB in the chat just said, so all prompts today will only work on FounderPath and we have to upload all our data to FounderPath. No, DB, you could copy and paste this prompt right here. You're getting the full prompt, but you're going to get a really generic output if you just copy and paste this over to ChatGPT. What's a better way for me to explain this? Those of you that get it, how can I explain this better? Is the concept of memory making sense, and like integrations? Just raise your hand. Does that make sense? All these prompts are going to be better if your integrations are connected. You know what I mean? So Angela Sutton, you're always good with words. Am I saying this the right way? How would you describe this concept of memory?
Oh,
you're unmuted.
I would say it's kind of like when you have context in a conversation versus you hear one soundbite. And when you have memory, it's like you have the whole backstory, so you can make a better decision.
I love that. I'm going to copy that. You guys are saying it right now. Kathy Lamb just said context. Yeah, so I'm going to start using that word. Guys, the reason you would use this in FounderPath is because FounderPath has more context, because we offer, if you look right here where I'm clicking, we offer all these integrations with one click. right? So this context is what makes it work so well. So, okay, let's look at the output. And then I'm gonna go pick on some of you guys. So those of you that ran the LinkedIn post live, I'm gonna go pick one of you guys. We'll use these as a live example. We have 4 minutes left on this prompt before we go back to my slides and you guys tell me which of these other prompts you wanna go deep on. So let's go back into the prompt here. I'm gonna click again on that LinkedIn post strategy, the output, and make it nice and big here. So remember, this is writing posts for Get Latka. So the first thing it's doing, and it's thinking, right? And you guys can see the full reasoning model, right? It's looking up and it's crawling your website. It's generating the plan, the article on the right, the output. So it says I'm honing in on Latka's ICP. Again, the only way FounderPath knows the ICP is because I've given it, using Angela's word, context, right? That's the whole key here, right? It's then crafting the LinkedIn post. It's formulating the post, making it concise, structuring the data, refining the workflow, etc. And then it's giving this output. So here's the post, right? It's saying, Nathan, copy and paste this. Okay, so I'm going to read this. We turned raw 30-minute founder entries into a database that VCs and PE firms use for deal making. Well, that's pretty much spot on. I mean, that is like right on the money, right? Did anyone else get a really good response from this? Like you read it and you go, oh, whoa, it understands me. Just type understands in the chat if you feel like it knows you, right? Now you might have to edit this and tweak it a bit, right? So let's give it another little follow-up prompt. Let's say, give me 10 ideas for hooks I can use in the first 2 lines. Right? Maybe you just want to edit the hook because that's the most important part, those first 2 lines before the see more button. You guys know what I mean? Just thumbs up, you know what I'm talking about? It's that see more, first 2 lines, that's the call to action. So let's get just hook ideas and hit send. All right, and so we'll sort of let that run there. All right, while that's running, let me pick on some other folks. Let me pick on some other folks. Who is getting a good output here? Ravi, you just ran one. Soy, Gabriel, Leon ran one. Who else? Stephen at Immersive. Stephen, can I pick on you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
All right. Are you comfortable sharing your screen? Can we look at your output?
I just use the demo data because I haven't got it, I haven't hooked up to your data, but I would probably use that in a personalized GPT using my data on ChatGPT, and then I'd get something very personal to me rather than, just connecting up on yours. So that's another way of using it.
Well, how would you give your Stripe data to ChatGPT, and why would you trust that Sam Altman wouldn't use your data to train their foundation model?
I wouldn't give the Stripe data to it. I'd give everything else about my ICP and I've already created deep dives on my company, like ad nauseum. So I've got GPTs that are giving me very personalized information. I'm following Lassie a lot at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at who's giving good content. Well, we know you are, and then trying to plug it into my own data without having to, because I can't join yours yet because I haven't got the data.
Oh, got it. You can't yet. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, guys, just to be fully transparent, I asked you guys to be transparent. I will be too. Like, you can see my stripes connected. Like, here's my revenue growth and then decline for Get Latka, right? This is when I started focusing on FounderPath, right? So it was a one-man shop doing $66,000 a month in revenue, right? I turned my focus to FounderPath. Now it's sort of stabilized at 20 grand a month in revenue. That's what GetLatka.com is doing. That's what my podcast generates, right? And then I reinvest it all. And if I want to create more content for the podcast, I have taught FounderPath via all these integrations. My Stripe data is connected. My bank's connected. Financials are connected, so it understands profit and loss. I've connected my Google Analytics, so it knows which landing pages have the longest view time, the lowest bounce rate. When you build your context using Angela's word into a system like this in one place, the outputs are shocking. It will give you better outputs than a $20,000 consultant will give you, and ChatGPT won't get anywhere near this because it doesn't have this context. Right, so like that's sort of the trade-off. And look, the only reason we do this is because we've deployed $200 million through this card right here. Right, so like we need that data because we're an investment company. We have a fund. We invest money, and so when we write a memo for a company using Capital Raiser card, we need all that data. So this is how our portfolio companies are growing much faster than other folks, and that's a little bit there on how the LinkedIn specific prompt works. Arun, do you want? Okay, we just ran out of time. So I'm going to stick to time, guys. Let's go to the next one. So we've already done email list builder. We've done number 5, the LinkedIn writer. What do you guys want to do next for the next 10 minutes? Wall Street Journal best-selling book, YouTube virality, perfect webinars, or podcast launcher? What do we want? I'm looking at the chat here. YouTube. All right, Bill Donahue, can I pick on you? Bill, unmute yourself. Why do you say YouTube? What are you focused on?
We're just starting out. We're planning on a pretty heavy video strategy. So just open season here for how to optimize that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, how many of you guys have already, you're sort of in Bill's same boat? You want to be on YouTube, but you haven't published anything yet. Just type Bill in the chat. How many of you are just like Bill? You want to be on YouTube, you haven't published anything yet. Okay, there's a lot. Bill, look, you're popular, Bill. there's a lot of Bills.
We're all desperate.
You're all desperate. Okay, Bill, why haven't you started yet? Let me understand your pain points a little bit more. And everyone else, Amy, Julian, type in the chat. Why haven't you started on YouTube yet?
We're just launching our product. So that's basically just setting the stage, and now we're going into content marketing.
Okay, cool. Alex said, looks like a huge project. I have very little time. Joe says, I'm not sure what's the best approach. Guys, here's what I'm going to do for YouTube, because the issue most people have is they don't know what kind of content to create. That's actually the problem. I'm really good at teaching what worked for me. I'm really bad at making stuff up that didn't work for me. If you guys are familiar with my YouTube channel, you know all it is. I say all it is. It's not all it is. It's tricky, right? But it's recordings I do, right? So like this is a webinar replay that got 500,000 views. Like that wasn't by accident. How did we do that? Right? If we go in here and look at this episode together really quick, who's a YouTube expert? Type expert in the chat. Do that sparingly, because I'm going to unmute you and ask you a tough question. Who's a YouTube expert? Come on, anybody? Can you guys see on this? Let me go to a screen really quick. I'm going to ask you guys all a question here. Which metric on this screen is the most important? If you want free views from YouTube, which metric on this screen is the most important? Oh, Barris said it's blurry. Should I make it bigger? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so people are saying watch time. Rahul said CTR. Rahul, go ahead and unmute yourself. Explain to me what you mean by CTR.
Hey, I think it's the click-through rate. As from my understanding, I think that's the thumbnail that somebody just click on it. I think that without that, everything else doesn't make sense. Of course, so if I would do that, that's something that I would really focus on first. And then, of course, the content and engagement and everything is important. But this is where I would start, I guess.
Rahul just nailed it, guys. Most people, Bill, when they're in your position, they go the opposite route. They focus on the video first, and the thumbnail and the title is like a last minute thing, when that's actually all that matters. It's better for you to record a 60-second video, right? And then spend 3 hours on the thumbnail and title, right, to nail it. Because if you don't get a CTR right here, if you can't beat something above a 3, 4, 5, your video is not going to go viral. You got no shot. Right? So you've got to align whatever's in the thumbnail. So you see your 25-year-old, 500,000 per month, right? You've got to align the thumbnail with the first 60 seconds of the YouTube video. Now, if you guys want to see how I've like cheat coded this, all I did is I used a Fiverr designer. And let me show you this. And all I did, so I didn't have to keep paying that Fiverr designer over and over and over again, I had them build templates for me in Canva. And I just use the same templates over and over, and I just change the human's face, or I change the background text, right? Or I change the title down here, and then I just use it over and over because it works. Like once you find a concept that works, just use it over and over and over, Bill, for your business. And that saves me a ton of time waiting on the creative, right? Who just had like an aha moment? I mean, I know that's like a little thing, but type yes in the chat, right? Little templates like that. That's like a great, y'all just said yes. Right, Dr. Jackie said yes. So part of what we've built into the Founder Path YouTube prompts, right? So we'll go into YouTube now, YouTube strategy. I'm gonna copy this link for you guys. I'm gonna paste it in the chat so you can run this prompt right now. I encourage you to click the use this prompt with your real data button. It doesn't mean you have to actually connect this. You can still hit send, right? And we'll do the best job we can with just data we scrape from your website, right? So I'm gonna hit send and let this run. But a lot of that intelligence is built into this card. And so what it's going to do is think about what should the title of the YouTube episode be, right? What should the thumbnail look like? And it will give us a script for the first 60 seconds to make sure the script matches what we promised in the thumbnail. Because what Rahul just said and what some of you guys said in the chat, right? The click-through rate is just step one. The second thing you want to look at, though, is average view duration, right? This is actually not a great average view duration, 3 minutes and 33 seconds into a 30-minute video. That's only a 10% watch rate. You really want to be at like a 20, 30% watch rate. I mean, you're crushing it if you're at 30%. So what's a way to game that? Gabriel, you're shaking your head. What's a way to game that? If you were only optimizing to get a video to be watched at least 30% of it, what's a way to game that, to hit 30% almost every time? Gabriel, unmute yourself. Give me your best guess.
You need to give like the good hook, and then like to bring the like to answer the question at the end or in the middle of the time. Try to arrange to people to stay with you.
That is one. Yeah, what you just said is called foreshadowing. Disney animators use that, right, to make sure you watch the little Disney video, right? But actually just make the video shorter, right? If you only publish a 30-second video, the likelihood that you get higher than a 30% watch time is very high because you're only asking for 10 seconds of a user's time. And so, Bill, that's why if you're thinking about launching a new YouTube concept, start off with a very short concept, 5 minutes or less. Focus on nailing the thumbnail and title and the first 60 seconds of your script, right? Because what most of you will spend the most time and energy on that goes wasted is you will put together a 60-minute video, right? Takes your time, your editing, wastes all your money, and it's actually not the most important thing, right? So again, when you use all this, guys, everything I'm teaching you, I can't teach it all live. It's all built into the prompt, right? So those of you running the prompt, I'll come pick on you guys in a second. Let me see who's running it. I'm looking in our FounderPath backend. And Michael, copy and paste again the link in the Zoom chat. If you want to run the YouTube prompt to get your YouTube strategy instantly, we'll give it to you. But I see Talash at Int Global is running it. Avery at MDSVVC, you're running it. Sanjay at Runday, you're running the YouTube prompt right now. Okay. Lydia said, as good as Lenny's podcasts are, I rarely ever watch them since they're over an hour long. Yeah, exactly, right? So again, click-through rate, average watch time. And guys, on this video, can you guys see this number right here? This is the new subscribers I got organically, no ads. This is what YouTube gave me, right? This is from one video, right? So like, Bill, the biggest lesson I would tell folks, as we wrap up here with 3 minutes left on this prompt, is short video, optimize title, optimize thumbnail. The next question you're gonna ask yourself is, well, what should you put in that 5 minutes? My strong recommendation for you, because it's the easiest, is to do an interview style. Right? It's an easy way to get started. Right? That way you don't have to think about it. Or do a react video. So when you're on LinkedIn in the morning and you see some big news in your space, just quickly record a 5-minute video of your reaction to today's urgent news. Publish it within the day or 2 days. And because your thing is timely, you're hijacking the current news cycle. So you'll get a higher click-through rate and a longer view duration. Right, which is YouTube going, whoa, Bill really knows what he's doing. I'm going to give Bill more views and more subscribers. Right? Yeah, Lassie nailed it, right? Talking head video in that setup. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave the last 2 minutes here for any questions, guys. Any questions on YouTube strategy, stick it in the chat. Those of you just joining, again, I don't know how many are with us. I was expecting about 100 founders live who really want to lean into prompts and AI to generate all these outputs and plans for free. You used to have to spend so much money on this, right? But I think this is the largest gathering every month of actual founders building great companies. Out of curiosity, just type in the chat, how many of you guys own more than 5% of a software company? Just type yes in the chat. Type 5% in the chat. Most of you guys, I do this because I want you to know you're in the presence of others running real businesses, right? These are real founders running real companies. And in about a minute and a half, you're going to tell me what prompt you want to spend time on next. But these are the insights to YouTube. By the way, guys, I don't want to brag. I have things that bomb too. This one didn't do great. All right, this one didn't do great. You know, I only got 31 subscribers from this one, right? The average click-through rate here is only 5.6% versus 7% on the other one, right? That's why I didn't go as viral, right? This click-through rate is too low. I still got some engagement. The view duration is 257. That's not enough. That's still too low, right? And so to Gabriel Newman's point earlier, the way you get around that is you're going in and you're going to go look at your retention cohorts on the video, right here. And if my pink line's dropping below that gray bar, it means I didn't do a good job in the first 10 seconds foreshadowing what's coming up. Because if I did that, the audience would have stuck longer. You see what I'm saying? Right, so that's how YouTube works. Guys, give me just like YouTube yes in the chat if you got at least one idea from the past 10 minutes in terms of getting launched, getting your YouTube going, getting more subscribers. We feeling good there? Feeling good? Okay, cool. Now, last thing I'll tell you guys on the YouTube prompt as I'm sharing my screen, there's a lot of this stuff that you guys see here how when I build the prompt card for YouTube, I attach PDF files. This is stuff you won't see if you copy and paste the prompt to ChatGPT. It's because we have certain intelligence and we know what grows a YouTube channel because we have all the data that we don't necessarily want everyone to have. We only want Founder Path folks to have it, right? And so that's one of the ways and one of the reasons we encourage folks to use these prompts on Founder Path. Again, it's free, right? ChatGPT you're actually paying for, by the way, guys. You're paying credits as you use them. Founder Path, we're eating that cost because we make money off investing, right? So it also saves you money there. All right, let's go into, it's 12:46 p.m. Central, which means we have time for one more section to go into. We've covered 3 prompt cards so far: email list builder, LinkedIn writer, and YouTube virality. What do you guys want to spend the last 10 minutes on? Podcasts, webinars, or becoming a bestseller? Tell me in the chat. Michael Powers, can I pick on you? I think you said podcast. Why do you say podcast?
I actually said
Michael,
webinar.
Oh, you said webinar. Okay, what are you interested in webinars? What are you struggling with?
Well, I like how you've anchored a lot of what you do around webinars. I think the way you format it is really compelling, and you're able to kind of get a cloud of meaningful connections coming regularly and expanding your network. So I'd love to know how you do it.
Okay, cool. Do you guys, you want to do that? Is there strong sort of energy around webinars? We can dive into that. I'm seeing in the chat people saying yes there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael, what I'll do is I'll spend the first 3 minutes teaching how we do webinars. But again, guys, the whole idea is I was struggling because we're running a fund, right? I was struggling with how to teach all of our portfolio companies how to run compelling webinars.
Yeah.
I couldn't teach each of them one by one. Right? I don't do consulting. So I built this into a massive prompt card. Michael, before I jump in, you raised your hand. What do you want to say?
Just before you hop over, I posted in here, but I used to work at YouTube. I used to be a product manager there.
Oh, great.
Early on, like the first 5 years. So
So am I
just
full
wanted
of
to add
shit,
one thing to your,
or was that good? Or was that good stuff?
yeah, I just wanted to add one thing to your strategy you can try out. The thing they don't show you, the thing they optimize for the most is combined watch time. That means that your video leads to a second video, which leads to a third video. That's what they juice up on. So in your first 3 to 5 minutes, I would highly recommend that you put links to other videos of your own overlaid on your video so that even if they're going to hop, they hop to another video. That will greatly help you in the algorithm.
Where can I see that data here? Do I?
They don't show it. They don't show it. And I wrote the first 2 algorithms of YouTube doing this. So just want to give you that inside trick. That's the secret sauce of YouTube. They don't show you that.
Okay, well, guess what, guys? I'm going to take Michael Powers. I'd love to feature you on my podcast. I'd love to interview you on how that works if you're comfortable sharing it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our YouTube strategy card. I'm going to attach the transcript of your interview here so that when we're generating plans for people, it now puts a premium emphasis on everything you just talked about.
Great.
Love that. Guys, that's how we capture intelligence at Founder Path, right? I mean, that's that, and then we send it out to all of our portfolio companies and we say, grow, baby, grow. Right? I mean, like that's how it works. It's as simple as that. So Michael, appreciate that. All right, let's jump into webinars. Let's do 10-minute clock. Let's reset the clock here in studio. We're going to do 10 minutes. Guys, here is the front-facing view of our webinar strategy. Let me go. You can see, obviously, this one is live right now. So the tech we use Luma, lu.ma is what we use, but you can use anything you want. And if I go here to our calendar, so Luma has this concept called calendars. You can see 9,700 people are subscribed to our calendar, meaning anytime we host a new event, they automatically get notified, which is great. If we look at some of our past webinars, you'll see here 890 RSVPs. You'll see we host in-person lunches here as well. This one had 1,700 folks RSVP. And one of the things I want to show you guys is I don't like spending my own money on promoting webinars, right? Or even like you see, if I go to my back view here in studio, you can see I have a crew here, right? I always am thinking about how can we actually use the real webinar to cover all expenses so that it is a actual profitable distribution channel, right? And so going back to front face here, one of the ways we do that is like on this webinar, can you guys see the revenue we made here? This is just on selling sawdust from the sawmill. What I mean by that is, what's the product you're creating just by doing the activity? So at a sawmill, you're making a table. Well, a byproduct is sawdust. What if you could sell the sawdust? Well, the slide deck is the sawdust, and the recording is the sawdust of a webinar. So we just let people buy the recording and slide deck, right? It's not a hard sale, right? If you go to the event page here, now it's already over, but you can see that the tickets we offered here, they're still a free option, right? Which is what most people choose. 1,600 people did the free, but 115 will pay for you, will pay. Right? So what could you use that extra money on? You could use it on getting better content. You could use it on hiring a staff to, amp up, do a production in your living room like I'm doing right here that you guys can see, right? You could do that. You could use it on ads to promote your webinar, right? Anything like that, right? So that I'm giving you a little bit of sort of insight into how I do webinars. The second thing I do is a lot of people struggle with how to structure content on webinars. You guys will recognize, I'm going down into my webinar folder here on Google Drive. Let me go into an old webinar from June. I always structure my webinars in a grid, right? So let me show you this. And if you've seen me give like a keynote at a big event, you'll notice I always follow this framework. It's almost always a 3x3 grid, right? And so it's like concept 1 with 3 case studies, concept 2 with 3 case studies, concept 3 with 3 case studies. And this way, like if I'm giving a 10-minute presentation, I know I have a minute per tactic. If I'm giving an hour-long presentation, I know I have 6 minutes per tactic. You see, so it enables you to basically reuse the content over and over because you have 9 components, you got to split it up. Now on this webinar, like the one we're on right now, I did it a little differently. I'm testing a sort of a new format. But Michael, the lesson here is you want to have some intro slide that basically says, in the next 60 minutes, you are going to learn X, Y, and Z. And when you wrap up, you better say, in the last 60 minutes, I just delivered X, Y, and Z. Do you guys agree? Tell me in the chat, yes or no. You've seen me already do this with you guys a little bit already. So this is sort of the emotional hooks that you want to make sure you're delivering through the webinar, right? Through the webinar. And so let's go into that prompt card. I'm going to go to AI here. I'm going to type in webinar, high converting webinar playbook. I'm going to share this prompt with all of you guys. So if you want to run it alongside with me, you can. The link is in the Zoom chat. So if you click that. And what I've done is in this prompt, this is what I'm choosing to publicly have you see in the prompt, right? Russell Brunson's webinar playbook, Neil Patel's playbook. These are folks that do really good webinars. I've attached all my intelligence I was just describing to you in a PDF. So you don't, we don't want that to go out to everybody on ChatGPT, right? You have to be in Founder Path to use it. It's a unique, unfair advantage, right? And so if we then move forward here and click use this prompt with your real data and click send, it's going to start reasoning here and coming up with my webinar plan, including titles, including my opening slide, the 9 categories, etc. So while that's thinking, let me get some feedback from you guys. What are some other things you guys are struggling right now with webinars? Will, can I pick on you at housemthr.com? Are you there, Will?
Yeah, it's House Mother.
House Mother, what are you struggling with on webinars?
So we were debating doing them just in general because of just having the right kind of focus. We didn't want to have it so just explaining what an app does, right? Being generic. But now that we're applying AI and different metric, ways for users, we're actually now going to build it out in that format. So yeah, based on what, specific items we solve for travelers.
And Will, can you just verbally say, are you comfortable sharing your screen and showing one of the outputs? Because you just said something interesting in the chat. You said something about the prompts, the output surprising you. What did you say?
Yeah, sure. Well, I haven't connected really in my data, so I'll show you right now.
You have or have not?
Have not.
Okay.
It's not letting me.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I have to make you an admin. I'm going to make you a host. Sorry. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Patrick, where do I write? Do I right click on this or what do I do to? Can you do that pop-up screen again that you did? Like, see, I don't have like, oh, go up here. Okay, Will. Will, more, make co-host. Okay, so Will, actually, don't share your screen yet. Let me just show you guys this. So you see over here, I got my webinar playbook. Now you might say something like, give me a list of top 3 webinar recordings on YouTube in my niche from the past 12 months. Right, to get an idea of how others in your space are running these webinars. So my point here is it's not just a one and done. It's not one-shot prompting. You should actually push it, right? Give me a list of 10 experts I should feature in my webinar in exchange for them emailing their list about the webinar. It'll give you your guest expert list to try and go recruit, right? So you get in there and try and do that. So Will, you take over the screen now. Show us your screen. What are you seeing in terms of the output?
now it's still not letting me. Says I need permission from Zoom.
Okay. Okay, we'll do your best. Keep trying. We'll come back. We'll come back to you in a bit. Okay, so guys, again, we'll see here. Let's go over here and look at what the output looks like, right? Because the strategy is going to be all tied up in this document. So a couple of things going back up here to the top. The lack of perfect webinar structure adapted from Russell Brunson, right? So first off, leveraging brand authority, right? So we analyze 500 SaaS companies. Again, this is all going to be specific to my website, Latka. Every single thing that you guys get is going to look different because it's going to be based off your business. The more data you give the system, the more context, the better your output's going to be, right? So we're going to frame that core promise at the start of the webinar, content deep dive for the middle 35 to 40 minutes, right? Content, including visual recommendations on what to show, right? Deal breakers, the stack and the close is really important. I can't teach all this today, guys. You got to use the prompt to do it, but the stack at the end is really, really important. And then it gives you a monthly plan adapted from how Neil Patel does webinars on what to do after that, including the day of the webinar and the post follow-up sequence, right? Along with, I mean, you could say things like, please write the follow-up email for me to send guests to invite them to my next webinar, right? Because you want to keep them hooked, coming back each month, right? Boom. And you can talk to it. It'll give you that full plan you can copy and paste, right? Cool. Oh yeah, Will, it's this thing you have to restart. No worries there. No worries there. All right, so Gary said, are you constantly A/B testing the results of your prompts and adjusting according to performance? Yeah, so Gary, you bring up a really good point. One of the things that we can track on Founder Path is which cards are being used by which founders. And remember, these are portfolio companies. Their revenue is connected to Founder Path. So we can see who's growing revenue the fastest and which cards they're using. This is something ChatGPT is never going to do, right? They are never going to, specific for B2B SaaS companies, tell you which prompts to use to actually help you grow revenue that is verified, right? And get customers and grow your YouTube and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go really, 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 really deep there. All right, we're going to go really deep there. Gary, no, it's proprietary. We built all this from scratch. We built it all from scratch. Okay. The last thing I want to show you guys as we wrap up here, and again, I'm watching the chats for any other questions on webinars, right, and doing the perfect webinar. But the last thing I want to touch on here is, remember, those of you that haven't met me, the whole purpose of why we did this is because we run a fund. We've invested $200 million into 550 software companies, investing out of our third fund. And never before, I mean, I'm going to tell you guys, where my mouse is right here, this card has actually wired $250 million. Where my mouse is right now. It's actually wired $250 million, right? So when I tell you these prompts give our portfolio companies an unfair advantage, I mean that. These are like, this is my money, our fund money at risk in these companies, right? They've connected their accounts. And if you hit send here, you can also get a capital offer in an instant. We're going to write you a 10-page memo and tell you exactly how much money we would invest on what terms. You can then negotiate with us live. I basically train this card to think like my brain. Right, so it's pretty darn cool. If you then get an offer you like here and you type yes, we will actually then invest in the business. We will wire the money, right? It's pretty wild. So we want to be the first firm that is deploys $1 billion with only a single GP, right? Everyone wants to be the first $1 million founder with a $1 billion company and no team. We want to sort of do the same thing, but in software companies. Joe, yes, it is worldwide. We invest worldwide. Dr. Jackie said, I love it. All right, guys, I'm going to give you guys a couple of questions while this is generating. A couple last questions here before we wrap up. Dr. Jackie, any questions for me? You enjoyed today? Unmute yourself.
I'm loving it, but I'm neurodiverse. This has been at warp speed for me, and my neurodiverse brain has just melted. And also, I got no output from the webinar prompt. You didn't give me anything back. So what do you do?
Tell it.
Happens?
Say, what are you smoking? Why didn't you give me a response? I'm serious.
Really?
Yes.
Where is my response? Right. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm on it.
Yeah. Just say, where is my response? I mean, literally, guys, the biggest reason people aren't adding revenue with these kinds of tools is people don't actually realize how powerful they are. You literally talk to it like a human. Really talk to it like a human. Anyone else though, like Jackie, and anyone else's brain melting, type brain melting in the chat.
I'm hoping we get a recording, Nathan. Can a plea from my dyslexic brain? You've melted it down.
Jackie will make it happen for you. And what you guys can see here, the last thing I'll say is you can see here is it's approving an amount of money, right? It's saying, hey, here's your business strengths. Here's your risks. And guys, remember, it's using real data. This is what makes this so crazy. It'll ask you some follow-up questions and then give you preliminary approval for funding. right? If you say you want the money and you say yes, we then wire the money. We might also say, hey, Jackie, if you connect more sources, we can maybe get you more money on better terms. Why don't you connect your HubSpot, right? Or connect your bank so we can see your runway. And all you do is, it's one click, guys. You click the thing, you connect your HubSpot account, and then we give you better terms. It's pretty wild. Steven said, what's the cost of using Founder Path? Anyone want to answer that? What's the cost? What's the cost? It's free, guys. We make money off investing. So we're one of the rare AI tools that we spent millions of dollars building this for our portfolio companies. Now giving you all these prompts down here you can use for free. Again, we make enough money from our fund. We don't need to charge for the AI tool. So hope this is helpful for you guys. I've had a blast with you. You know, I'm going to sum this up now, right? I'm going to sum this up. If you want early access to new intelligence, like new prompts we're adding, you can get in my WhatsApp group. I call it my day one crew. You'll get screenshots of what we're releasing. You'll control my engineering team, tell us what to build, anything like that. We'll put this link right now. Do we have this in the chat? There it is. Boom. My team's on it. If you want to join that day one crew WhatsApp group, founders only, please, founders only, you can click that link in the Zoom chat and join. But in summary, guys, over the last 62 minutes, I showed you the prompt to add 10,000 new email subscribers, the prompt to grow on YouTube, the prompt to launch a hit podcast with 1 million downloads, the prompt to get 1,000 LinkedIn comments, the prompt to get 500 RSVPs on your next webinar, the prompt to write a best-selling book if you want one, right? These are all things where if you're going to go pay someone to do this for you guys, you're hiring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 employees. All that intelligence is built into the cards at founderpath.com. I'd love to see you guys next month. We're going to dig into new prompts with verified revenue data that are proven to work. The link is in the chat right now, lu.ma/FP12. And what I will do is for the first, let's do the first 10 of you guys that RSVP for free for next month. I will give you guys the copy and paste Google Doc version, right, of these 6 prompts, right? So you can save it to your own Slack file. You can go use it in wherever you want, Gemini, ChatGPT, without the context, but at least you'll have a copy of it, right? So just for the first 10 of you. Now, those of you that, you guys don't type RSVP in the, actually RSVP in the link, lu.ma/FP12, the link in the Zoom chat. We'll do it for the first 10 of you guys. I'm refreshing my screen now. See 2 of you, Lassie just RSVP'd, the first 10 of you guys. As we wrap up, guys, you just saw me use a tactic I told you that you want to use on your own webinars, right? I promised you something 63 minutes ago. I gave you full control of the webinar. You literally told me what to do, which is kind of cool, right? Because it's not boring. I then used social proof and I unmuted people along the way. And at the end, I said, here's what you just learned. Hopefully, you're getting a little bit of a dopamine hit. You're going, whoa, I've been on a lot of webinars. Like this one felt pretty damn good. If it felt pretty damn good, type damn good in the chat. Anybody learn something? Anyone learn something today? Cool, cool, cool. I see a bunch of you guys are RSVPing already for next month. 31 of you did it. Guys, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys. Check out founderpath.com. It's totally free to use. It will help you grow your business. It'll help you add revenue. I'm Nathan Latka, managing a fund. We'd love to invest in you guys. Try the Capital Raiser card. In the meantime, though, I'm looking forward to seeing you next month in September. Have a great August, guys. Take care. Nathan Latka here. Later. See you, Jackie. Bye, Sam. See you, Patrick. Later. Bye, guys.